Welcome to Navigate STL Schools, a podcast. My name is Staci Allen. I'm here with Christal Rogers, the founder of Brownpreneurs. How are you today, Christal?
I am doing well. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. So before we get into everything, we ask all of our guests the same question. What is your K-12 education journey?
So I am born and raised in St. Louis. I'm a St. Louis native. I originally went to Holman Elementary in Berkeley, and from there I went to Cool Valley. So I'm a Ferguson-Florissant School District girl, and graduated from McClure, not McClure North, McClure. I have to distinguish between the two. And from there I went to UMSL in Lindenwood to get my master's.
All right. So what's Brownpreneurs?
Brownpreneurs is a nonprofit organization that teaches Brown students the principles of entrepreneurship. We teach them how to successfully start, grow, and maintain a successful business by helping them understand the science behind business ownership. So we want them to understand the basics, things like operations, sales, marketing, finance, what we consider to be the pillars of every single business so they can venture out into every industry out there.
So in today's climate, why was this an important program to start? And when did you launch?
So we started in June of 2019, and I started because I've always volunteered in the St. Louis area, and I've noticed a decline in basically the ambitions and desires of students. When I first started volunteering, I would ask students what they wanted to be, and they would say a doctor and a lawyer. And recently, I think maybe 7 years ago, I asked a student, he said he just simply wanted to survive to his 21st birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And students around him agreed with that. So I really wanted to start a program that inspired them to dream ambitiously, live audaciously, and hope beyond limits. That's what we try to do.
So that idea of I just want to live. I don't want nothing else. I don't have, just let me make it to this point.
Right.
Is something that, is proliferating in our community. And so how do you think about entrepreneurship as a response to that?
So there's been a lot of talk recently about social justice, but the very definition of social justice necessitates the distribution of wealth. Well, no job is ever going to pay you enough money to really get to the next level. Yeah. So we believe entrepreneurship is the path forward. It is what our society and our culture needs in order to advance to the next level and create generational wealth and not debt for our kids. To be able to pass on businesses and income will really propel us forward.
So as you're talking through this is fascinating to me. What are some ways that you think your curriculum is helping students? And what are some lessons that you think maybe the school systems could learn from how you're empowering students through entrepreneurship?
So our curriculum, we try to be as broad as possible with our curriculum. Again, we teach them nothing that's industry specific, just the pillars of entrepreneurship, but we go a step beyond that to help them develop into responsible and credible entrepreneurs. So things like ethics, time management. We also teach about civic engagement and paying, it forward. I think within the school systems that they would probably do best. I've noticed that sometimes teachers and other individuals will kind of stifle a child's dreams. And we don't really believe in doing that. We think that if they have a desire to do whatever, whether or not they want to be the next Black-owned car manufacturer, which one day Brownpreneurs will, we will breed one of those, encourage them to do that.
So as students are hearing this and parents are listening, how do you find the students that go through your program? And then what are the kind of phases or projects or programs that people can be involved in?
So we work a lot with different partners. We have Urban League. We also have Goodwill. We have Navigate STL. So we work a lot with our partners to get students into our programs. And that's the main way we get students.
So a lot of word of mouth and community.
Definitely. Yeah, we're all about community at Brownpreneurs.
So when you're thinking about community, are there like local St. Louis businesses that are also supporting the program? Are there internships that are involved, or is this just like a strictly course based curriculum?
So we do have several businesses that we work with that are donors and support our organization. And our primary program is our Teen Summit. It's a 3-day entrepreneur workshop that happens every July, and this year will happen July 13th through the 15th. But later this year, I'm really excited. We are launching what we call BAE. It's the Brownpreneurs Entrepreneurship Academy. It is our year-long program, so we can, instead of just teaching for one subject for an hour during the Teen Summit, we can take one topic and teach it over the course of a whole entire month, giving our students a greater depth and a greater understanding of that topic.
And so, how do students afford this program?
It is free, and I'm so happy to say that. I realize that the demographic that we serve, they don't have a lot of discretionary income. So it's very important for me that our programs stay free forever.
Mm-hmm. And so, as you're understanding this, say you have a kid that wants to be an entrepreneur, what do you think parents could be considering as they're looking into their main academic courses, but also considering some of like their extracurricular activities? I know when you were talking to me earlier about the program, it's a lot of like soft skills that are being taught in here. So what can parents consider in terms of like their core curriculum or choosing their core school, and then also some extracurricular activities to kind of set their kids up for entrepreneurship lifestyle? I know you guys start at 14 years old, but I have a 7-year-old that just really wants to start this lemonade stand because they want to like have a business and make their own money. Like, how can I really encourage from there?
So we always teach our students that before you start a business, you should look at what you do well, what your likes are, but also a lot of businesses start from what frustrates you. Mm-hmm. So if your student or your child in your case has a desire.
Not my child, my imaginary child.
Okay. If they have a desire or a passion, for instance, in culinary, which I personally don't have a passion for culinary, but if your child does, encourage them to volunteer or take that as a extra curriculum at school or some type of elective, and just explore. You know, when you get older is the time to kind of channel in on what you actually want to do, but as a child, just explore.
So just explore, like, what am I passionate about,
Yeah.
and can I find a solution to it?
Right. Definitely.
So your program is for 14 to 22-year-old students, correct?
Yeah, 14 to 21.
14 to 21.
Mm-hmm.
What does the success story look like? You said you launched in 2019. What does it look like for these students to come out and be successful?
So a lot of our students, what we want is first to spark an interest in entrepreneurship and give them an understanding of what it means, and to kind of get rid of this hustle and grind mindset or this get rich quick scheme kind of idea. But what we want from them is to go off and preferably get an education in that field. We believe that degrees are important to be a successful entrepreneur. One thing that really kind of annoys me is that people think that you don't need a college degree to be an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. Well, I have a master's and I got a master's to grow my businesses. So our goal is for the students to first get an education, because we believe in being a forever learner. So get an education in that field, get a mentor, and just continue to learn and evolve and start a business. That's our goal, really. Start a business.
Start a business. So in the time that you've been doing this program, have any of the students launched a business or gone on to like business school or anything like that?
Yeah, a couple of them have started like online stores. We have a few that sell like sweatshirts and apparel on like social media, because you know they love social media. They love it. So yeah, they have.
So what are some of these key skills that you teach in this program that you think really show up in students after the program, like in the classroom?
A belief in themselves. We definitely try to empower them that they can do this. Unfortunately, sometimes they are being minimized at home and discouraged at home, but we want to empower them that no one can tell you what you can and cannot be. And if that's a parent, then, you know, even your parent can determine what your future is. So we definitely want them to come out with a sense of empowerment and knowledge. Yeah.
So you think that when students leave the program, they just feel better about themselves. They feel more like they can accomplish things, that they have a skill set that is going to set them up for success. That's awesome.
Definitely. Yeah.
That is really, really, really great. So as you think about like this idea of really building up the self-esteem of students through your program, what sparked you? What built up your self-esteem? What made you feel like this was something that just needed to be put into the space to fill this gap?
Well, the story that always comes to mind is I remember as far back as I have a memory that I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. And I remember my grandmother asking me one day, I was like maybe 12 or 14, and she said, Christal, what do you want to be when you get older? And I said, I want to be an entrepreneur. And I was so excited. And she said, no, 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 no. Just get yourself a good government job. And it
With
really,
benefits.
I know, right? But it broke my heart because that was the first time she ever displayed disinterest in something I wanted to do. And it kind of shook me for a little while, but now I have 3 businesses, and she passed away maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and she was able to tell me how proud she was. But had I listened to her way back then, I wouldn't be where I am now. So that always comes to mind.
So really just being for students who are interested in entrepreneurship, what you wish you had.
Absolutely. That's the reason why I started.
So as you go through this program, what are some words of advice that you have for young entrepreneurs wanting to get into the space? And then for parents who want to try to push their kids to do something different?
So for students that want to become entrepreneurs, first, always, and I can't say this enough, be a forever learner. One example we give them in our program is is Blockbuster. Mm-hmm. Blockbuster, they used to be the thing back in the day. You know, I used to go every Friday night and rent a VHS. But they refuse to stop growing. They refuse to stop evolving. And now Blockbusters does not exist because they refuse to get into the streaming world.
They fell with the bag. They had the opportunity to be Netflix.
They did. Mm-hmm. But they refuse to grow and evolve. So always be willing to grow and evolve.
Always be willing to grow and evolve.
Yeah.
Do you think a city like St. Louis is ready for reemergence, a renaissance, if you have, of Black business owners that are contributing to the city of St. Louis in a positive way, bringing in the tax base, working in Black communities? Or is that even like a pillar of the work that you're trying to do?
I definitely think St. Louis is ready. I think maybe 7 years ago, several studies came out showing that St. Louis is one of the fastest growing areas for entrepreneurship. And within that, if you break that down a little bit more, Black females are growing more. So I definitely think it's ready for a new emergence of entrepreneurs and brown entrepreneurs as well. I definitely think, our city is ready for that.
And so I could see this being like a really great program for middle schools in terms of like an extracurricular activity, or for high school students for summer programming. How do schools get involved if they want to partner? And then again, contact information for parents who want to get their students enrolled.
So if school districts want to get involved, they can simply contact us, and we can see about creating a program within their in their school. We work with the city of St. Louis, and we have programs within their rec centers. Mm-hmm. And if anyone is interested, whether it's a parent or a community partner, they can just simply go to our website at brownpreneurs.org and fill out the contact form, and someone will reach out to them.
Awesome. Yeah. And then please drop your email, drop your website for everyone listening today.
Sure. So our website is brownpreneurs.org. The email address is brownpreneurs@gmail.com. And you can follow us on
Can you spell Brownpreneurs?
Absolutely. So it's the color brown, BROWNPRENEURS.org. That's our website.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today, Christal. We're looking forward to everything that you guys are bringing to the table, and to see Brownpreneurs just flourish as a new organization. Thank you guys for listening to Navigate STL Schools, the podcast. We'll catch you on the next episode.